mic's up and that not that loud. Test. You want to talk near your mic?
I am now. Hello.
How are you so much quieter than me?
Because I speak quietly.
That can gas me down a little bit.
Check 1, 2.
Nothing but gas.
Hi.
So, we'll see if we have any friends rolling here. Anyone wants to hang out. Talk to me about this cube van.
You know, the funniest thing is like, you have the same problem that I do, which is just like there's certain things that when you see them, you're like, God, I need to buy that, even though I'd have no reason to.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And like a cube van, that was like solid gold for us back in the day.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I had my eye out for a cube van
Oh yeah,
for a
forever.
long time. Yeah,
Because it's just like, oh, the amount of things you can do if you have a cube van, that's just
I
fantastic.
can move.
Yeah.
I can move so easy. Actually, I used to take the cube van from work when my friends were moving, and we would just do it in one go.
Yeah, so
and
smart.
they'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know how smart that's gonna be.
A,
I've
it
loaded
saves you a
so
ton of money.
much shit into this.
Saves you a ton of money renting one.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, just as soon as like we had 2 roll in that got traded in, because I don't know how things work. Sometimes we just get things where we're like, what? Who did that? But there were just 2 cube vans there.
Just there.
And then one of them sold immediately.
Yeah.
And like to a catering company or whatever. But
that makes sense.
and it was just like, oh, cube van.
Huh.
And then, but for me, it's the same thing. It's like guitar cases or like
Yeah.
pedal cases, pedal boards, gear cases, like rack cases and things like that. Every time I see one, I'm like, oh, I should probably buy that.
Yeah.
I have no reason to. Why
Absolutely
would I?
not.
But
I haven't needed one in like 12 years.
they just every time I see one, I'm like, oh,
Do you think this is like, you know how our parents won't get rid of things because they're like, I
Totally.
might need it one day? Is this our version of that?
well, I think like, I don't know about you, but when I used to build rigs, that's like nesting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like creating something.
This is home, bro. This takes
Yeah.
care of me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
like I used to pride myself
What's up,
like
Mackenzie?
my like Stampede stuff, especially because like I had to pare down, right?
Of course.
And then I remember when I was doing Stampede, I trained into downtown. So I went on the train with my guitar,
Oh, I see what you're
my
saying.
Kemper, and my pedal board case.
I imagine you like Stallone in it, like running up
Yeah,
and down the
just running
stairs.
on the
I'll
chain.
make it downtown one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. No, it's just like, and I had to be so efficient, and I was so proud of my efficiency. Like,
Yeah.
I had everything I needed, every which way of it. I had the little repair kit, and like, you know, like it was just, it was perfect, and it was just one of those like,
It feels safe.
oh yeah,
Oh, hey, I appreciate that. What's up, Kat? Mackenzie is one of our lovely, lovely, lovely moderators.
oh sweet.
Yeah. William, is there a subject or open thoughts? Have at it.
We're pretty on open thoughts right now.
Yeah, we're just chilling. We're too tired to put together like a whole things. And I just thought, since we hit 50,000, I hadn't come on here and said hey and thanks. And oh, there's a chat over my face. That's cool. Let me move that around. So I thought we could come hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Kat's just stopping in. I appreciate you. We're talking about the necessity to buy things. Did I tell you I actually like legitimately think I have a spending addiction?
Probably.
I noticed it last year when I was working with my dad. I just like felt anxious. I felt weird. My stomach hurt, like headache and just like bothered. And I was like, I'm just going to go like run to the store, get a water or Gatorade or something like that. And the minute I heard the debit card transaction go through, I felt immediately better.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God.
Everything's okay. Tap. Everything's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
everything's
good.
okay. Yeah. Can you sell this to me 3 times actually?
I'm having a rough day.
Yeah.
Can you just make that thing go beep?
But I don't know if y'all have this. Let me know. So when Kevin and I were guitar players, you would come across like the perfect suitcase and you'd be like, oh, I need that for this.
Yeah.
And now you're creating projects for yourself. But it just like, I couldn't get away from that feeling. And I spent so much money on things I didn't need to spend money on.
Oh man, I've spent all of the money on things that I don't need to spend money on.
Kat, you got dissed? How'd you get dissed? Mackenzie knows. Mackenzie's, oh man, she's a photographer. If you got your website, Mackenzie, toss it in the chat. Is there a subject or open thoughts? William and Tarot Destroyer both asking. Yeah, have at it, man. Anything you got? Do you remember my blue van?
Mm-hmm.
It was a 1983, I think. And it used to be an RCMP like transportation hospital vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
and someone bought it for the oil rig to drive everyone up north, so he didn't have to pay all their gas, but nobody wanted to drive it.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
So he was like, I just put a brand new battery in it like a week ago because I knew you were coming. He's like, if you give me money for the battery, you could take the van. That thing did hella gigs.
Oh man, we did so many.
Yeah. There it is. Go check out her website, man. She's great photography. She's getting into videography too.
Nice. Man, I wish I knew more about video. I wish I knew more about photography too.
Yeah, I really want to get your brother over here.
Yeah, he's
I know he's a busy dude, but
he was showing me some of the stuff that he's working on right now.
yeah.
It's really impressive. Like really impressive. He's got such a good eye, and I mean I guess he knows what he's doing really.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. He did a good job of explaining it to me once, of just like the light portion of photography.
Oh yeah.
And he broke it down for me just like audio.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Because like I couldn't understand this at all.
Yeah.
But he was just like, yeah, this is like input gain and this is like output gain. And I was just like, oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
I didn't know you knew what input gain was.
It is hilarious the amount of things that Kevin and I communicate about through audio terms.
Oh, almost everything.
Yeah. Oh, we had a good one not long ago. I wish I could remember what it was. It'll come to me. This is distracting me. Cat caught. Oh, because you're close with Knox, Cliff Beats, Anthony Ray, and that singer. I was telling you about this.
Oh, yeah.
About Nick getting dissed.
Yeah, what was
And
that?
Cat caught a stray. Hilarious. I'm sure you're so upset. So hurt. Yeah.
Feelings.
Otis
Yeah.
wants to jump on a track and support Nick.
Yes. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I told him I'd give him something heavy. Do you have any idea when a band is an opener for a headliner, how it goes, the pay grade? Yeah, I could tell you my experience. We did a lot of opening for bands.
Yep.
Y'all did too, didn't you?
Yep.
So
Depends on the band.
it depends on the band and depends on the venue. I'm gonna mostly say it depends on the venue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
because like we had a good relationship with the bar that like I bartended there for 7 years. I did sound there for 10 years, and when I was in my band, we played there just about for every event that they wanted, or that they needed entertainment. They didn't know who to hire. Like the people that did the event didn't have entertainment, so they'd hire us. And then if there was an act coming through and they wanted an opener, they would call us too. And so we had like we won't show up for less than, and it was mostly like dinner, drinks, and like there was 4 of us, maybe $300 between all of us. But like that, we were very fortunate. Like understand that is a very, very, very fortunate situation to be in, right? But we brought the crowd, man. We brought the energy. Like we would have the dance floor packed before the headliner went on, which for a lot of openers in our situation didn't really do.
No. No. I think a lot of people that are in opening bands, and like myself included at the time, felt kind of like, I don't know, that there should be more of something when like because you're going and you're doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the effort part is going to be there, but like the older I get, the more I understand that like the venue and the promoter and all that stuff technically need to make more from having you there than they pay you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, if you want $500, then the promoter has to have made 1,000 from having you there.
Yeah.
So the difficulty is that like a lot of people in starting out, they get discouraged because they're not making money, but that means that their presence there isn't necessarily making the promoter money either.
Yeah.
So like what you're talking about in terms of keeping the dance floor packed and giving people the vibe, wanting to drink, have fun, stay, is huge, right?
Yeah.
Like if you, because the opener, the idea being is that like
You're the
people are
warm-up.
there for the act already, right?
Yeah.
And the sooner that you can get people into the door, the more potential money you can make.
Yeah.
So if you have a good opening act that's going to bring people in ahead of time and make them happy and want to stay and all that kind of thing, they're going to extend those hours of making money. So it's profitable for them.
And not to mention, like at our stadium, the liquor sales end when the headliner starts.
Yeah.
So that time of like the headliner playing, that's really important, man. Like if you got the party going and everyone's getting hyped up for the headliner, then it's a very profitable time. But if you're not bringing that, man, it's tough. But it's kind of twofold because like you have an opportunity to be in front of someone else's audience. So if you're not prepared with like merch and CDs and tapes and like all the shit to grow yourself, Instagram photos, all the shit, then you're kind of like leaving a lot on the table too, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on like Warby used to tell me, he's like, you have to learn how to sell and then you could be a sound guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because if nobody hires you, then like you don't have a job. Right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same. Like you can like there's a freedom to that, really, right? because I can come to you and I can make a deal with you. I can sort things out, and we can come to like a middle ground if we're willing to, or I can just say it's $1,000 or fuck off, right? So
yeah, which I mean, like,
it happens. It happens lots,
and sometimes that is the right answer.
Yeah,
depending on the person that you're working with.
It's often the right answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's hard because like if you're an opening act, like there's opening acts that are huge.
Well, there's opening acts who are comfortable in their like post show game that they don't ask for money for the thing, right? Like the Glorious Sons, when they came through, all they wanted was gas money and 2 hotel rooms for 5 dudes.
Yeah,
and like Rob set them up, man. He gave them a bunch of money, a bunch of booze, a bunch of food, and like 5 hotel rooms, I'm pretty sure. But then they came back every year for like cheap, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the bill was. Say it's 20 grand, we're getting it for 5, right?
Yeah.
And but they were so confident in their like show performance, their merch, and their CDs and their team that they were comfortable as long as it didn't cost me to get to your city, I'll make my money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if you got the rest of the stuff on point, like you're gonna be profitable. You're not gonna have to really worry about what they're giving you.
But that comes back to the supply and demand, supply and command, of like, because they would call and try to get the gig. Like they'd be like, "Hey, I see you have a Super Bowl party, AC/DC tribute band's playing. Can we open? We just need gas money in a hotel." It's a different thing if if the promoter's calling and saying, "Hey, can you come open for this show?"
Yeah.
And in the hip hop industry, they'll go out to 8, 9, 10 artists and say, "Hey, if you sell 50 tickets, you can perform." And then what happens is all 8 performers sell their 50 tickets. Now you have 8 openers.
Yeah.
And now you're cut down to 2.5 minutes each.
Yeah.
Like, now that sucks because you can't even perform. You can't connect with the crowd. You can't make that extra cash on the side, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Not to mention there's so many different variations of what that looks like. So it's hard to say like opening act money.
Yeah.
Because like you can be an opening act and make crazy money
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're opening for the Foo Fighters.
Oh, yeah.
So
And on tour, like,
yeah.
The Warning opening for Guns N' Roses, man. I'm sure that
you think
they were good.
Yeah, they weren't getting $300. I'll tell you that.
T-shirt sales.
But like that's the thing. It's hard to say just by being an opening act like that. You can be an opening act until your stadiums.
Oh man, I saw Buck Cherry open for Kiss.
Yeah,
like that's the slot you want.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm sorry, I'm blue.
Yeah, although I do admit I hate in stadiums how they treat opening acts. For sound.
Oh, dude, it's not even
like
the stadiums.
The DBs that they keep them under. It's just like it's ruthless.
See, like my band, we were fortunate, but we put on a hell of a show. So if the lights weren't keeping up, it almost felt weird because it was like, man, we're going wild. Like we're putting a show on, and we weren't just like running back and forward like all over the place. Like we were putting on a show and engaging people. It was like, light guy, you should be keeping up. Like you look like the fool now, right?
Yeah.
But like you're not getting any big snare drum shots and reverb shots, and you're not getting any. Like if the guitar player takes a lead, he might be heard halfway through the song. Like
you're getting faders up and sat back. You know.
Did you know that a big thing now is having a comedian open for you?
Oh yeah, I've seen that a few times.
I would love that.
Man, I don't know. I would hate to be that comedian.
You think so?
I think it's super combative to walk into that.
But think about it. Like our audience would probably like the same comedy roughly that we like.
See, what I would think is like if you've got a comedian that you're going to see that's big. I would tour with
a band,
an act that was associated with my vibe.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
See, that to me feels more isolating though, because if you have older folks, you're gonna be like, "Why is this rock and roll playing?"
Yeah, but
you and I like rock and roll. So,
yeah, exactly.
I got
but
you.
like again, if you're a comedian that's like has a vibe, like Tom Segura went out with a huge DJ. I can't remember who it was.
Sure,
I'll think of it.
Sure.
But anyways, yeah, he just had a DJ that came out and did like 15, 20 minutes of like a hip hop set because he's huge into old school hip hop.
Oh, cool. Right? Okay.
So it's like if you know this about Tom Segura, it's like he loves vintage hip hop.
Yeah.
And you got a wicked and then like, you know, they announce him and all that. Like that's a brilliant idea.
That's a great idea.
And, you know, everybody that's going to see Tom Segura for the most part probably would know that that's
going to happen
in his world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially now that we know more about people.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember. I think it was Eric Church. His like closing music as we loaded out was Jay-Z.
Awesome.
But that's like artist selected. Like it was blaring over the PA as everyone's like closing up. Like that's that was his end show. And I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, it is. I like that.
What do we got? Hey, Cheesy's here. What's up? Another great reactor. Bro, share your link in the channel here. Share it in the chat. William, I hope that answers your question. Amalia, if I didn't say hi. Lisa, just stopping by. Probably not reactions tonight. I'm not. I've been building a chicken coop all day, and I've been listening to a drill and a saw.
Reacting to chickens.
I did a lot of videos this week, y'all. I posted a lot of videos this week.
Doing work.
Putting in work. There's some cool ones though. Do you remember my conversation about how I think that gospel influence is the future of music?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know who Sleep Token is?
I feel like I've heard this. Yes.
Yeah. They're like prog metal, but it's like dope. It's kind of like Polyphia, but like way more believable, if that makes sense. Because Polyphia is like what I go to when I want like perfection. But this feels like people playing it. But like their drummers, like, you know, this one part of this song, there's no drums, but live I do a drum solo and I want to break that down for you. And he's like, the first section is triplets, but like instead of doing like a regular triplet pattern, he's like, the first note of the second triplet is the fourth, eighth note. And I'm like, oh, that's a gospel fill. He described it better than me, but I was like, oh, that's like a gospel fill. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh shit, that's really cool. Cause he's like a really gospel influenced drummer. And I'm like, the future, y'all. The future. I'm telling you. Totally telling you.
I mean, I think like as drums seem to be getting more of like a forefront into the world, like because it's like people know drummers now. You know what I mean? Which is like weird.
I love that.
But back in the day, it was like, what did you get? Neil Peart,
Travis Barker,
yeah.
Tommy Lee has been famous for a long time.
Sure, but I mean, like that was more like Motley Crue fame, and from other parts of his life.
We'll say other parts of his life.
You know,
I was going to say other parts of his life.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like, I mean, Taylor Hawkins for sure, but like,
there's only so many though.
Yeah, and like nowadays that people can see, especially like on Instagram and YouTube and things like that, and you can see a drummer just doing their thing. Like, it's getting more popular, and I think like gospel creates a good place to be showy as a drummer.
Yeah,
and then
it's got a nice pocket to it.
Yeah, and like having that big pocket is like, you know, maybe that's just it. Maybe it's just drum fills that have good pocket.
Well, I think that there's a lot more focus on, like, I honestly think that we're moving back to like a virtuoso environment when it comes to stuff. So I think that like people will fall in love with the guitar player from Bill Murray or like the drummer from Sleep Token. Like these things will happen, right? And that kind of gives you a reason. Like, okay, here's a better example. Do you remember when Dave Matthews would like do a record and it was like the first one he wrote with like the drummer, the second one he wrote with like the violin player? It's kind of like you have that, but your opportunity is always the same. So you're always highlighting everybody.
Okay.
There's only certain ways that kind of fits together. And I feel like on average, that groove matches gospel fills and gospel music.
Sure.
It's a stretch. I understand that, y'all. I understand that.
No,
but take a listen.
So my theory, because I don't disagree with you.
I got one more point to make with that.
Give her.
Is the guitar player playing along with the keyboards.
Okay.
We do that a lot in modern production. There's keyboards following guitar parts, even just like chords and bar chords and stuff. And in guitar solos and stuff, they make them like sound real synthy and stuff. And you see a lot of that in gospel music too. Guitar player noodling away with the organ or something, right?
Sure. Yep.
I would agree. Your turn.
Well, okay, so
see you later, Casey. I appreciate you. What's up, Lost?
So like for me, my main thought is like gospel fills are like showy but with like air. You know what I mean? Like they're showy in the right way.
Yeah.
And so like I'll give you a parallel example. So when I was like one of the guys in Nashville that I was talking with, Brad Sample, he was saying that when he was taking some guitar lessons from some beast of a dude down there, and when he was trying to get better at guitar, he said the guy made him learn saxophone solos.
Oh, cool.
So this idea of like, oh, this thing is a different instrument and approaches the thing differently, but saxophone does it in a way that like has more lyricism than a standard thing, and it isn't just kind of like because there's a limitation when you're using a saxophone, blah, blah, blah. And you can do the blah blah blah, but the room that it creates and like the holding of notes, like holding a note in a saxophone is more impressive than holding a note necessarily in guitar.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to create a lyrical line, you might need to use those.
Interesting.
Even though you want to like show off and just go fast, but like that you have to use that space. And I think it's kind of a similar thing for like drum solos. It's like the space element of being like having accurate space, intelligibility, that kind of thing. I think you find that more in gospel because again, like in gospel, everything has to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nobody can be stepping on each other. There's
Mhm.
so many different things in that band potentially,
Mm-hmm.
and they all got to listen.
Yeah, like 80 plus sometimes. Like
Yeah.
with when you get all the voices and everything, like it's
Mhm.
wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're wrong. I just think I think the tool that they're using is space.
Okay. I like that. It's pretty prophetic.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
By the way, it was DJ Premier that toured with Tom Segura.
Ah, sweet.
There you go.
I knew someone would know.
Monica's got us. I appreciate you.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was cool.
What's up, Lost? What do you got going on? What are y'all up to, man? It's Saturday night. You chilling with us? We don't really got much planned out, y'all.
We're just hanging.
Danielle is gone for the weekend.
Weird.
Dude, tell me about it. I'm so codependent. My feet have been numb since like before she left. When she was packing up, I was like, "Ooh, I'm getting shaky."
Oh.
So I'm just gonna work on my chicken coop. I'm gonna do a bunch of lives. Follow me on Twitch, y'all. Probably gonna do a bunch of twitching this weekend. I was thinking about on that no drama mix. I gotta clean up the low end. I was talking to my friend Junie, and he was like, "Yeah, you could clean up like the kick drum, the low end a little bit, and then I'm gonna send it to Ethan for some mastering."
I was gonna say the bass needs to come down a little bit and the guitars need to come up.
Okay, I like that.
Also, like after that conversation and him telling me my guitars are quiet, I can't believe how quiet my guitars are.
I haven't listened to that mix since that.
And I also can't.
We
can't believe
can talk
how.
about that, right?
Well, yeah, it's all good.
David Bendeth hit up Kevin, and they had like a sweet conversation. Just gave him a bunch of what do you call that? Advice,
encouragement, and mixing advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, I mean, then I went and started listening to other stuff, especially his things, and I was like, oh my god, the guitars are really loud.
They're really loud,
but
they have space.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was just one of those
space.
like, oh, I can't not push the faders up and have other things suffer.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
can I play Death of an Industry? Do you care?
Yeah, go for it.
Y'all want to hear a Kevin song?
I just wish I could remix it.
Oh, you will be able to
at some point.
I'll get AI to get the stems out or something.
Yeah. No, I just got to find an orange hard drive. If I can find that thing, that's where it all is.
It's not here.
I know.
I can play it off my phone here, I think. So Kevin used to be in a band called Feo. I was their sound guy. And this was the last song y'all like wrote and put all together but didn't release?
Technically, we did it all in Nashville the same time we did that record.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But for some reason, we didn't cut the vocal for it. It was like, no, this should be in the next string of songs. Like, so when we were talking about the record, it was like we wanted to have 6 pop and 6 heavy.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. I don't really know. But we wanted this balance, and we were going to be putting it out of balance if we added that track in. So we recorded
and
it
that
at the
one was
same
like
time.
really heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I had written it last. And I think that was one where I wrote it and then sent it down when they were tracking drums.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because, like, yeah, I don't know. He even played it different.
Can you watch your cup here?
Yes.
The wave is just full. Monica grew up in a very musically influenced church. Yeah, let me get this quote right. So it's triplet formats, but you treat them as 16th notes. So instead of 3, your 4th one is mixed in. So it's like 3/4 in the pocket, and it goes left, right, kick. So you have 2 voicings that move over each other.
Sure.
Yeah, and so he wrote it out and he played it, and it's like, oh yeah, that was a gospel fill.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a swag to it. Like it's got this energy to it, right?
So, sorry, he's doing a triplet, but the 3rd triplet is scooted back to be the 16th. Is that the idea?
Yeah, so they're all 16ths. Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Instead of triplets.
Yep.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So it's groupings of 3 over sections of 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, oh shit, that's Lewis.
Counter rhythms, technically, right?
Yeah.
Or counter. I don't know.
Whatever,
I'm not a drummer.
All right. Can you move your tea for me for a second?
Yes, sorry.
We're gonna play some Kevin music. I'm gonna turn on our mics for a second. We'll just let it play through. Oh, it's not that one. Hold on. It's this one.
Nope.
No?
Ain't playing.
This one. That's why. One more time.
Back in the van, flat broke on the road again. And we're not ungrateful men. My life is dictated by the stroke of a pen. No sense of what you've done. You never meant to hurt no one. But I bet you hate me, son, for saying click and download is like loading a gun. Death of an industry. There's no recovery from death. When the only thing we care about is what we're gonna get. Stand and raise your glass. Oh, this is how it ends. Yeah. Backstage, you won my trust. You tell me that you got a deal for us. Well, I bet it takes real guts for you to shake my hand and throw me under the bus. I'm here, I don't want to regret those years I can't get back. 'Cause the blood and the sweat and the tears I've spent. This is not about cash, it's about the respect. Death of an industry. There's no recovery from death. When the only thing we care about is what we're gonna get. And in the apathy, we know our enemy exists. So stand and raise your glass. Oh, this is how it ends.
This guitar solo is fantastic, y'all. Here we go.
Don't get me wrong, it's all I live for. Don't get me wrong, it's all I have. Don't get me wrong, I'll do this any way I can. But don't you think there's something wrong? How can we sleep when our integrity is gone? It's all gone. Death of an industry. There's no recovery from death. When the only thing we care about is what we're gonna get. And in the apathy, we know our enemy exists. So stand and raise your glass. Oh, this is how it
I think it's hilarious that you say this is how it ends, and this is how it ends.
Yeah, it's the perfect way to say it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't say it. Mike said it.
That's fair. Your brother said it. Yeah. What do we got here? Leslie, what's up? Felipe, what's up? Mackenzie's in here hanging. Beth, what's up? Dad, what's up? What's up? Not my dad, but the account says Dad Quicksoat. Quick Oats. But yeah, that was there's Junie. What's up?
Oh, hey, Junie.
What's up, bro? Junie just sent me a message as we were jumping on this. He was talking about, because him and I were talking about that time placement thing.
Yep.
And he was saying that he plays with the phase to get it to try to get like big like that. It's
That
like,
makes sense.
it's
Yeah.
a very similar thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think you'd probably just be able to go a little bit further with this one. Like if you had to go further back in time.
Well, like phase is one way to do it
Yeah.
because like you're dealing with the transient and making sure that there's no destructive interference for sure. But like what this one is kind of playing on that idea, but like
Mechanically or manually.
to a degree
or-
that's like bigger, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you're not dealing with one wave, you're dealing with probably like 30.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like you're trying to clear out space again and make it so that you're not having any destruction, but destructive interference, I guess I should say. But you're doing it like, all right, more than just one.
I got you. For Minato, what's up? M Jones, what's up? Too bad it ended. Yeah, I know. Too bad y'all quit writing music for me. Let me
Yeah.
try that again.
Well,
Too bad y'all quit writing music for me.
well, I mean, we could always try it again.
We should start a little like bluegrass band. Just one microphone in the middle.
Did I tell you my idea for that?
No.
Okay, I've had this idea for forever.
Okay.
And my idea was to get Rylan Morantz on his banjo.
Okay.
And I think it would be awesome to take like big hits
Yeah.
and bluegrass them.
Oh yeah,
And
dude,
do,
we've been
like-
talking about that for years and years and
Do
years
like
and years.
a banjo, like something, acoustic guitar, and like 3-part harmony, like 3 dudes standing in a field.
I don't
and-
know about you,
Yeah,
but I'm
honestly-
feeling 20 or 32.
Yeah, honestly.
Shit.
But like that's where I just think like
Did-
no one's doing it, and B, I think it would be cool.
Did I tell you how that aligns perfectly with my second YouTube channel?
Do you have a second YouTube channel?
I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to my second YouTube channel, y'all. I'm starting a homesteading channel about my garden.
As you should.
And for the crossover, I want to sit in my garden and sing my vegetable songs and film it.
Yeah.
So then I could sing y'all songs while I'm in my vegetable garden.
Sing them to sleep.
They apparently like being sung to
Well, yeah.
because they digest CO2. And happy vibes, man. Come on.
Yeah, of
Come
course.
on, yeah.
Positivity.
Yeah.
I like positivity.
Yep.
Thrash grass? Is that where I hear that?
Thrash grass is where it's at. I'd be into that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to listen to some of that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's gonna be weird.
Send me some of that, Lost.
That's gonna be weird, I'm guessing. In a good way.
We can't talk too much about it, but I did show Kevin the new Freeze the Fall song too.
Yeah.
It's pretty banging.
Yep.
Pretty friggin' banging.
That bridge is really cool.
Yeah, I know.
I really
That's
like
one
that.
of the first songs they wrote.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Jordan's gonna do a little podcast with us. You gotta hang out with Jordan, man, their producer.
Yeah.
He's just one of us, man. I get on the phone and he's just like he's
One
almost
of
like
us.
as bubbly as your brother.
Oh,
Almost.
no way.
But like tame back a little bit.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Because Mike's
If Mike's
up
watching,
there.
bro, I love you. I'm just saying it's very similar, just tame back a little bit.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
He knows he's positive.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he's just like, I was like, man, like, love the record. Like, everything sounds great. He's like, oh, man, I appreciate that so much. He's like, coming for you, that really means a lot. And I was like, nice.
Alright.
I like that. He's like, I'm just
Alright.
sitting in the studio right now mixing.
Nice. Well, I mean, that world again, as we were talking about, it's a lonely world.
It
Like,
is.
they never get credit
See,
unless people happen to dig in deep and know who they are.
I've gotten more focused about what my goal is for my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
I want to connect the bridge between artistry and technician because I think that there is already a ton of crossover that just have like limitations.
Agreed.
They have
Do you think it's perceptual limitations?
absolutely it is. Because I saw a really good video on YouTube. I should share it, man. This guy had about as many followers as me, maybe a few more. But he was talking about how YouTube producers are getting called out for not being real producers.
What does that mean?
That it's the same thing as saying that reactors aren't real content creators or like you're just stealing people's content. It's like
What
you're
is
just
with that?
you're just
What
overlooking
is with
things.
that? Like real?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about? Everything redefines as time goes on. Like
Yeah.
everything becomes new.
Like I never went to school for what I do, but I sure made a lot of money doing it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people go to school for it, man, and that's cool. I just never did.
Yeah. Well,
I worked in a bar doing sound since I was 17.
no, you're just doing the thing.
I was just doing the thing. And
And like
like call me fake, man. I had a career for 10 years. Go for it. It's
no,
just
I'm
it's
not
weird.
gonna call you fake.
No,
buddy.
but it's just it's
I'll
a weird
call you
thing.
Jesse.
It's like calling YouTube rappers not rappers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you're still doing the thing.
Well, it's that you're trying to make a statement to devalue someone because they're doing good. It's
Yeah.
like, if they're doing. But the cool thing is about that, in my opinion, is if you wouldn't do it, you wouldn't be trying to devalue them if they weren't doing something valuable. So it's in a weird way of throwing shade. It's like also flowers.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? It's like because they wouldn't feel the need to throw shade if they weren't doing good.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing, but at the same time, if you could just take it and be like, oh, they think I'm doing good, so they're gonna throw shots. Great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Got someone's attention.
yeah, really.
Yeah. You know what? I wonder if that plays into. Do you remember when I said that? Like, I want my mixes to be like intrusive or like abrasive.
Yeah.
But like not like it's not like a vulgar thing. It's not like a language thing. It's like if you're walking by a store and one of my mixes was playing, I want you to stop.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
I wonder
sure.
if there's like a bit of that. It's like if someone caught the attention, but maybe it's for something you didn't like. Maybe it's something for you did like.
Well, I think the idea of being heard, acknowledged.
Yeah.
Man, there was this wicked analogy to that of just like the idea of creation and like as an art form, and like it's our task to create, but there's also like we're just supposed to create and put it into the ether or whatever you want to call it, but the idea of it also being acknowledged by other creators,
Mm.
because it like kind of like with you telling Jordan, hey, it's good. It's like you get this like nod, an
The head
acknowledgement of, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like this, like, hey, I understand you at a degree that most people won't, and I'm saying that I resonate with seeing your like your I witnessed it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
Kind of like, you know, that idea of like if you just happen to like toss a ball and it just happens to land the perfect shot, and you're just like, who saw it? Please, please.
Someone
I can't have just lived that experience by myself. And I think that's like the idea.
Yeah.
It's just like we want to create for the creation's sake, but at the same time, I think as creative people, we're supposed to like acknowledge when we see that.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Well, and like, you know, back to the Bendeth conversation, like one thing I really want to do is just make sure that everyone that deserves their flowers is getting them. Like if you're a ballin' backing dancer, I want to
Mhm.
make sure I give you your shout out when I can, right? Like
Mhm.
I just feel like that stuff is, but like back to your conversation about like modern day, if I fall in love with like like even a backing vocalist, a backing dancer, a backing singer, whatever, I can find that person on Instagram and I can engage with their social presence
Mhm.
the same as like we used to with our friends, right?
Mhm.
It's such an interesting climate we're in.
Well, I mean, the whole world is so different.
So different.
And like, it's not my inclination to be in that world either. Like, I'm here as like, because I enjoy interacting with it, but it's not my inclination.
Mhm.
Like I'm introvert for sure, right? So for me, it's like I think it's really cool, but at the same time, I feel like I'm on the outside of it a little bit
Mm.
of being like, I don't know, I'm
See, I feel like that though until I do something enough, because I always say like there's a couple fan bases that like I'm really passionate about, but I feel like I'm just on the outside of. And it's like I kind of feel like that guy at the club being like, "Yo, like, can I come in? Like, I'm cool, man. I brought my money this time, got my ID, all that stuff." But like, it's tough, man. And I don't know if you feel like that side of it, where like I don't feel left out, but I feel like I'm missing something. It feels like there's like a degree of separation between me and like that fan base.
Definitely. Like, I mean, like it's kind of like this when it's an area that you're unskilled in, right? Like if you're unskilled and you come into an environment of skilled people, whatever that environment is, it's like you come in and you are going to miss the terminology. You're going to miss the rhetoric. You're going to miss the inside jokes. You're going to miss the previous experience that makes it so you can view the situation with like a holistic knowledge. So it's like, yeah, you're going to come in and be like undergunned or underdeveloped in the area. So naturally, you're going to feel outside.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I think that's more what I'm saying. It's like the whole world, and like I'm not like I don't know when I posted on Facebook last, like ever.
Yeah, me neither.
You know what I mean? Like maybe
I'm too
12
anxious
years ago.
about it.
Well, but I mean, like you're engaging with this world, right?
Yeah, but you'd think that would like incline me to do it, right? Because I like the social media thing to do when you're like a creator is to post often on all your platforms, and like I'm too anxious to post on my Instagram.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's probably like a personal thing, but
Well,
but it's the same thing. Like it's a fuel and it's a motivation. Like when I say if I'm like, oh man, I only got time to like film one video and I got to run. It's like I can't settle on what video because it's like which group, you know.
So if I could posit a theory,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I think you view YouTube and streaming and like that kind of thing as the community based ones.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I don't think Instagram or Facebook does a good job of making people feel a part of.
I just can't keep it all straight, man. Like,
oh, okay, just like there's too many.
It's too much.
too
and
many
it's
streams.
moving, and there's too many, especially on like the Instagram. I'm really trying to figure out the business one, the one for my BEL. But like, there's general chat, active chat. There's like requested chat, and there's like 4 different tabs you got to scroll through, and you can organize them all. And oh man, not for me. Dwayne Long, what's up? I don't remember what we were giggling about, but something. Sarah says, I get that sometimes just a little encouragement and validation from peers can go such a long way, especially for creative fields. Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed.
I mean, like you could stretch that into life too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a little encouragement sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just everything.
Yeah. Oh man, that's like when we just took all the masks off. I like telling people I like their smile. It's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I remember the first time we got to go out to Waterton after that whole thing started, and like everybody was outside, and you get to cross people on the path, and everybody was smiling, and I was like, "Oh, I can't believe how much I love people's faces."
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Like it was.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was wild. Yeah.
It was great.
There's a couple of messages I gotta get to here. So hey, what's up? Sniper Rocks, what's up? What's up? What's up? We're just chilling, y'all. If y'all have anything you want to talk about, let us know. But we're just chatting. I don't even know how long we've been going for. And Junie said, for me, mixing and writing a track is one thing, and I had to create a whole new way of mixing in which both processes are becoming one. So when I'm finished writing the track, it is also mixed. He's doing it as he goes along. Yeah.
Well, like for efficiency too, and I'm sure like, you know, you're probably writing to put out because like
pause.
You're right. Yeah. Fair.
Kevin writes to put out, y'all.
Yep.
Hi, Betty.
Hi, Betty.
Yeah.
Hi.
Anything lost? Hope you had a good cruise. Hope you had a great cruise.
Where did you cruise?
I'm gonna rack my brain. Someone else just told me they were on a cruise too, and I'm just like,
well, I mean, water for sure.
Water, yeah, definitely
cruising on water.
Yeah.
I need too long to write and switch topic too fast. Oh yeah, that's fair. Sorry, buddy.
I need to write. Oh, yeah, that's good. And there's like a 30-second delay on the like whole thing too. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Well, and that's like, yeah. I mean, I used to do that for demos too, where it was like I get to a place where like I would try and do the things that I kind of knew I needed to do on each instrument as I was recording them. So it's like then I'm just kind of like fiddling with balances at the end.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this anyway, so I might as well just do that while I'm trying.
But you know, like I was talking about the performance on that right hand in that track, and I've been talking about this a little bit more. But like if you don't have the vibe coming back at you, it's hard to get into a place where you're trying to break your strings on your guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like playing with a metronome. Yeah. Metronome playing sucks, but just putting a kick drum on changes everything.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's very different.
It's just like that. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get at. Opens Pandora's box. Yeah. Ooh, what did I hear? Ariana Grande's latest song, and she opens up the door to Narnia and ends up in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah, it's snowy everywhere.
Winter Wonderland.
There's like there's like a foot of snow, and she's making like a snowman, and then she loses her boyfriend in the snow. It's much more sad than that. I'm just trying to keep it lighthearted, but yeah.
Was it good?
There was 2 spots that had like, I think, pretty obvious auto-tune. I'd be willing to be corrected. I would 100% be willing to be corrected on that. But I thought that it sounded like there was 2 spots of auto-tune. And then in the outro, she's singing her ass off. So I'm like, why? Like,
well, you know, I okay. So there's been times where I've noticed that LA style production uses a vocal tone that sounds auto-tuned.
But it was in the vibrato. It had the warble to it. The rest of the notes sounded fine. It was just the vibrato that had the warble, and I went, "That's a weird place for that."
Well, I mean, vibrato. If you're using those types of things, it has a hard time if you've picked a key.
Yeah,
because like a vibrato is technically a pulsation between the note, right?
Yeah, it's a half. It's between a half up and a half down is the idea. So you have the full note, but it's like halfway. It's like on center.
Yeah. Well, and that's where like if you wanted to manually create it, you can. In like the Melodyne type life.
Holy, hold on. Betty, where she went, she had no clue, but the concerts were amazing. She won $10,000 in the slots. Y'all, come on. Y'all.
Dang, Betty.
Y'all. Bruno Mars opened a bar in Vegas, and I'm trying to nut up. I'm just going to say it in front of everybody. I'm trying to nut up and give Betty a call because aforementioned anxiety and things. And we should book a trip to Vegas, and we should go. I got a little bit of vacation money set aside.
He opened a bar?
Yeah.
What's it
called?
called?
The Pinky Ring.
Get out of town. Oh, that guy is so great.
Look it up. It's so good.
Oh
man.
I can already picture it, and I have no idea what I'm trying to picture, but gold. I get it. Yep. 100%.
It is gold.
There's got to be furs. Ooh.
Performance stage.
Oh my God.
Yep. Bro, you got to look it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That guy's going to be a billionaire.
Live auto-tune is lame, IMO. Did y'all see? Oh, what's up, Havard? I didn't see you sneak in here. Did you see Blink-182 at Coachella had a really bad auto-tune moment?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
It's like the end of First Date, and you just hear the whoa, 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 and then he's like, "What's up? How we doing?" It's like trying to find the key. Like,
oh, God. You know, like, I will admit, because like, there's a number of ways of approaching live faked vocals or whatever. That's not fake vocals, but it's corrected vocals. Like I tend to agree more with the like let's just have a parallel track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just have a secondary one, and if I'm sucking, just bring in the second
yeah.
one.
Honestly, like
Did I ever tell you about the one time I had to sign an NDA?
well, no, because it was an NDA. So
It was like 12 years ago.
okay.
Whatever. I don't know how long those things last. I won't tell you all the details about it, but the singer was sound checking. He was singing. When he walked away from his mic, the vocal kept going.
Yeah.
And they dished out NDAs. But apparently, they had some sort of a gate
Mhm.
on it. So when he stepped up to his mic, it cut the track off.
Mhm.
And then when he stepped when he stepped away from the mic, it cut the track off. When he stepped up to it, it turned the track on.
Yep.
So you had this like blend of the two.
Was it a standing mic or was it a wireless?
Standing and wired.
So I mean, it's probably one of those infrared little boxes or whatever.
I think it was before that, but I think it was something similar to that.
Those things are clever, man.
Because that was like in 2008. See, that was the interesting thing. I should have known the Melodyne part because like that's when I was doing all my shit.
Yeah.
Like Melodyne was not around in 2008 through 2011. It got popular in like 2000. Kind of got popular in 2010.
Well, it was
and then
terrible
on,
for a
but
while.
It was really
because
bad
like
for a
we were
while.
using it. Like I used it both records.
Yeah.
Because like I
made everything sound like you were singing your falsetto.
well, yeah, it makes it thin and weird sounding.
Yeah.
And like I get it because you're technically destroying the vocal and putting it back together again.
Yeah.
But like, even if you just need to use it a little, like the whole vocal tone changes, which sucks. But
Yeah.
Melodyne sounds way more natural than although I haven't used modern autotune. It's probably good.
Well, what's cool is like you get like a lot of these like Chris Brown will say like he sings into an analog autotune and it keeps up with him.
Yeah,
it's just set to like chromatic or whatever all day.
Yeah.
But because it's like a saturation thing for him, right? But he sings into it, so it can't predict what he's gonna sing. But my God, it keeps up.
The thing that I liked about when I haven't really used it much for me, but a couple times that I've tried it, I liked the idea of having a perfect me alongside of me to help me follow.
That's
the
what
tune.
Fry recommended I do. Like I auto tune the shit out of like my one vocal, and then I just practice beside it with it like 60% ducked.
Well, it's just like you got a perfect thing giving you your tone the whole way through, which is like relative pitch. Yeah. Like it just really does help relative pitch because like our voices do seek unison with each other.
What I actually have been doing is on Melodyne, you can straighten the lines out.
Yeah.
So it's like you're confidently hitting the note instead of, and then I just try to lock into that. That's been better for me, but same story. Auto-tune has made the kids misunderstand what real talent is. Ain't that the truth? In North America, the standard is 15% auto-tune per vocalist.
Yeah, I would say.
And the idea is that it just keeps the ends of your phrases in tune because most singers fall off at the end of the phrase.
I would almost just want it to be so that like it's tight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's
like,
fair. But you don't always want it perfectly in pitch, though.
No, not perfectly. But just
I guess
like
15% wouldn't.
Like if you think about it, like you strum a guitar chord, like it's slightly out of pitch all the time, and that stuff sounds fine. But like if you have say 15% on 3 or 4 vocals, like I mean that adds up, right?
Adds up, yeah.
So like if you can limit that a little bit so that they're locked into each other, that's nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's nice.
Fair. Hold on, we gotta go ways back here. Have you heard Loli Ren, the fairy voice mother, new hurt of cover? No, but it's on my list to do. She's a reaction channel, but she's a vocalist and she gives like what we want to do with like audio. It's like free lessons. Like,
oh, cool.
If you want to sing like this, here's some scales for you to do.
Sweet.
And,
like,
stuff like that.
Nice.
She did a cover of Hurt and I want to react to it.
Like Hurt, like
I hurt myself today. 9 Inch Nails.
Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Cash, depending on who.
Johnny Cash stole it and said, "This is mine now." He did
he really did.
Oh yeah,
man. He
straight up said, "This is mine now." Pick the artist that you feel like you're in a mode for. I feel like you come into the reaction anxious or overthink it. It would be less authentic. Pick the artist that you feel like you're in the mode for. I feel like you come into the reaction anxious or overthink it. It would be less authentic. So like if I'm being anxious when I'm doing the thing, I got you. I try not to be, y'all. I try not to be. I've been working on it.
We're all working on it.
I don't care for live autotune. Autotune has made the kids think that they're good when they're not. I think it's an interesting topic with autotune. I'm not just making people to sound good who are actually bad and want to look like. Yeah, like I don't want to fix a vocal, but I might like that Robin and OJ cover. I'll saturate a vocal and you'll hear it pop in and out of tune and this and that, but it kind of has like a neat feel to it, the way it stands out. And
I think there's another bit of that like misunderstanding around autotune.
yeah,
Because like again, it's like any tool. It's like Photoshop.
that's how you
can
use it.
you can do it to like slightly make things better or like slightly make things more translatable or whatever.
Yeah.
Or to fix an issue that you couldn't have fixed previous
Yeah.
in other ways, like take an imperfect situation and try and make the best of the situation. But like there's varying degrees of it, and I think everybody thinks that just by using it that means you're at the extreme of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like cuz you can use autotune and it almost do nothing.
Well, that's like I was gonna say. My favorite thing is to watch that little purple weird
Yeah.
sphere thing and it not move. And
Exactly. Then it's
I'm
like,
like, and I
oh,
start
I'm
getting in my
hitting
head.
it.
I'm like, oh shit! Like I'm killing this.
Yeah. And that's like I don't think
just because it's on doesn't mean it's doing anything.
yeah.
But like I said, so that 15%, if I fall flat at the end of my phrase, is just gonna hold me up. That's it.
Mm.
That's all it's doing.
Yeah, it
It's
makes
not
sense.
saying that I can't sing, because if I sing flat, that 15% ain't gonna fix it.
Mhm.
But if I fall a little flat, it might hold it up.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a late attack on it or however that works.
Here would be my question, okay?
Y'all, I can't keep up with the chat. But yeah, you ask your question.
My question would be, and as the consumer, okay, so if you're going to go see a show, what do you feel better about? Do you feel better about seeing a shaky performance because they may be having a rough day? They may just be have been on the 200th day of tour and their voice is shot. Do you feel better about seeing the honesty of that and having a show that could be reported as bad and the performance as bad, and you could walk away from it going like, oh God, he was terrible? Or have the singer preserve their kind of understanding. You might not have the best show this night, but you've had 80 other good ones, but we're going to use this tool to support it so that it's 81. You know what I mean?
I think
which would be
as long
which
as
would
it's just
feel
in
better.
support, right?
Well, but like as the consumer of the show, like it's not your fault that they got sick, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to demand that you still paid your money. You demand the show that everybody else got. Right?
My tolerance to that is the same as tracks. If you're trying to hide it from me, I'm not gonna like it.
Hmm.
If you're making it obvious, I'm fine with it.
Hmm.
Like if there's purpose to it, like even if it's because the same thing, man. The minute you say, "Hey guys, we're touching up things tonight because I'm not feeling good," they're gonna be like, "It's a fake show,"
Yeah.
right?
Well, and that's what I mean. Like I understand the like
Intensity or
well, and just like the
fear of.
perception of that or whatever. So it's like, oh, it's got to be XYZ. But like genuinely, if you're paying money, so say you pay $200 to go see a show and you happen to catch a night where they're sick, well, either the show doesn't go on or the show goes on and they have to support it because you can't go watch a bad show. Because like you don't really want to go watch a bad show, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just
But
find that curious.
Do you
because-
remember that douchebag you and I used to work with? He went to which one?
Touche.
He went to Ozzy. He said Ozzy didn't sing one note in key, but he's so happy that he tried. He said that made it for him.
Hmm.
He said Ozzy just standing up there like, "Ah!" He's like, but he was committed. He did the thing. He showed up, he committed, and he sucked, but it was rock and roll.
Yeah. I feel like Ozzy's the wrong choice.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like the authenticity of just giving her. Like I respect that for sure. It's just I don't know. I think there's always a situation where it would make sense to do one over the other.
Yeah, see, what's up, Big House? What's up? Havard said Bruno couldn't hit the high note in Calling All My Lovelies in Japan, so he changed it. He did like a run out of it,
Mhm.
and I would rather that than a fake note. Actually, when I saw Steel Panther and the Death All But Metal, they had a doubler on it, and I went, fair enough.
Yeah.
You can hear his voice, and you can hear the double come in, and I went, it's a crazy
Yeah,
note,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
crazy note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's within my tolerance, though, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that there's a happy medium.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? If you tell that to somebody and you say like there was a double, right? Like for somebody who doesn't understand what that means, they're gonna go in and they're gonna go say, "Well, it was fake." You know
See,
what I mean?
this is
Which
why
like I get.
This is why Feo is the best band in the world, because whenever Mike wanted a double, it was like, hey, sound guy, sing this.
Yeah, it's true.
And there's 2 or 3 Instagram posts that I've been tagged in where it's like, look at the sound guy's the singer. because I had my own wireless mic. Remember
Yeah,
that?
you did.
And then when I was too far away, it would throw you guys off because I had the time delay. And I
Oh,
was
right, yeah,
singing
yeah.
to the late time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Dosso trying to give me signs like, stop singing. It's throwing us off. Sounded rock and roll up front.
Yeah, we made it through. It's all that matters.
If the singer is exhausted and sounds like that, it's okay. But I guess some people can be upset because they paid a ticket and don't get the tickets as they love them. It's
Oh, the
about how you
tracks,
communicate
yeah.
that. Oh, yeah. Sorry. My bad.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. It's a hard one because again, you're asking for a person to deliver something, to not have a bad day. That's what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Taylor Swift is not allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah.
And that's rough.
That is rough.
Like, no, I mean, she gets paid handsomely for
She
it.
gets paid really good money to not have a bad day.
But that's like a crazy responsibility. Like, I'm sick. I can't sing right now.
Yeah.
No way in hell.
Just taking nights off.
I guess.
Yep. You know what's funny is we never abided to the no talking rule after shows.
Mm-hmm.
We always
Ever.
talk like crazy.
Ever. We would always talk.
We would always talk.
Always.
Yeah, we always had
We
stuff
were
to
always
talk about.
so bad about destroying our voices after shows.
Oh, no. The worst was in that song that we played for y'all earlier and in another one, Drag You Down. We were tracking vocals in Kevin's parents' basement at the time,
Mm-hmm.
drinking scotch. And then it was like, God, it's hot down here.
Tarps off.
Y'all cool if we take the hoodies off? And it was like, oh, I don't have a shirt underneath. It's like,
Tarps off, man.
tarps off, all the shirts off.
We felt
Just
so tough.
screaming.
We felt so tough
felt so
recording that.
tough,
It was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That was the down, right? When we were at that. Oh, that was so tough.
Down.
If only the mix was that tough
Oh, it will be. You're gonna find that hard drive.
someday.
I think we should put out a little 3-pack. We got 2 already. Should put out a third one, and then do another group of 3 where it's just straight up rock and roll.
Sure, whatever.
That's what I think we should do.
Let's keep doing stuff.
Yep.
You just tell me, hey man, we're doing this, and I'll be like, cool.
Autotune's a real turn off. Absolutely. What would y'all like to see? Like, mixing tips is tough because like we're kind of in between that entertainment and like real nerdy side where it's like, here's how you can go and like work on your recordings. And I would like to offer that as like an opportunity. But
Yay.
write that one down.
Opportunities.
But in the same breath, I want to make it enjoyable for y'all. So like I was thinking about doing like trying to recreate this person's vocal chain or trying to get my voice like not to sound like, but try to get like the production like.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess that would be. It's hard though when you don't have the.
That's kind of like me
You
playing
do it
it
as an individual instrument or whatever, right?
Well, I have all this stuff.
But like to do it as a mix, that would be a real challenge. But I guess you could do it as piece by piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have like all week.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to like if you could program me drums, I could record the rest of it, and then
That's easy.
we could figure it out.
Mhm.
What do y'all think? I also want to do an indie radio show on Spotify.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, that's going to be one of the shows because it'd be hard to pad it with all indie. But I do want to start a radio
I don't know
show.
if it'd be that hard. It would probably be hard to start, but I think eventually it'd be pretty easy.
Well, like because I eventually want to have like one of them playlists where people are like, "Let's go check out what's on like the BBL
Yeah.
playlist," and it's just like cycling of
Cool
indie
stuff.
artists. And M Jones like the Shop Talk. Yeah, I like Shop Talk too. You want to see a mix?
Mix of what?
I don't know. Oh, we should sign up for that Pure Mix thing.
Which?
That Ben Death website.
Yeah, I know. I kind of felt like doing that.
They have like
'Cause I wouldn't
Under Oath on
mind.
there. They have the Warning on there. They got all kinds of stuff.
I'd do the Under Oath one for sure.
I would do the Warning one. 10 minutes. I respect the guys who are totally up with you. You guys are up front with you. You guys aren't even recognize these songs if you don't use autotune up here. It's the trying to pass it off as a secret for me. Yeah, same man. Like just don't try to make a secret out of it.
But okay, I agree, but it's hard because people don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if we hear that or Joe Average hears that, that's different. And it just depends on your level of understanding within that, as to how much you get offended by that idea. Because we would be comfortable with that, because we understand. But we're coming from a place of a little bit more knowledge than most people in those things. So I don't know if everybody would feel that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like you don't want it hidden, right?
I don't
a
want
lot
it
of
hidden.
a lot of people would want it hidden.
But I'm thinking about playing this festival where it was a Bon Jovi tribute band, and it was Bon Jovi tribute band, and the keyboard player was double booked with a bigger band than the Bon Jovi tribute band. And so they just had a lighting guy step in and pretend to play keyboards. And after the fact, a couple of people that found out were really upset.
Well, yeah, because it feels like you're being lied to, right?
Yeah.
But like, in all honesty, it's like if you didn't hear that, well, the show was maintained.
Yeah.
Right. Like it should be fine, but like it's not because you found out, and the lack of understanding as to what would happen there is like it seems offensive and like uncool.
I follow. Some drums for y'all.
Oh,
Forgot our mics playing too. Whatever. God, it's like I kind of know what I'm doing sometimes.
I love that I used that kit.
What kit is this?
It's called Nashville, but like listen to how loose those snare wires are. It's going through the whole thing, and I love that. I love the noise that it created. It's just like so like.
So that meter just like pumping. I should probably pull that low end back a little bit though. I'll have to like go through and actually find what frequency it is.
I don't think you'd want that, but it's
No, you
pretty
don't want.
cool.
You don't like that?
You could run a parallel one of that though.
Pretty heavy. There's your guitars. Did you say bass down?
Yeah. There you go.
How's that sound at home, y'all?
I don't remember doing any of this.
You don't remember how to play it?
Homie, you will kinda be dead, yeah. That ain't a maybe, that's a promise, yeah. Just let it sink in. I can see the future, Nostradamus, so I ain't paying no mind to what you do around.
Yeah, it's one of the projects we're doing for our friend Odie.
When did we? I can hear how I played it,
Yeah,
but I can't remember when we did this.
some bass. I think that's my SG actually pitched down.
I don't think this one is.
Oh, it might be that Firebird.
Ooh. That sounds nice. Those are some nice guitars. Oh. Can I change them a little bit?
Of course. What do you want? They've just got SSLs and the time delay on it.
Yeah, just bring up that SSL.
Which one? Which guitar do you want?
Let's just go left and right.
Okay.
So let's go left first.
Okay. You just want the SSL?
Yeah.
Yeah, please do, Havard. Kevo, what's up?
Oh, hey.
It's a good name.
It is.
So this SSL console, actually Junie was asking me about this. This is like a standard thing that a lot of producers do. Like right when they get the project, they just put this on and then they start playing with this. So I'm kind of here for it. You turn it up a bit if you want. Turn the mics down maybe a bit. Or your headphones down there too. Oh, can you how many of y'all are here from the Warning Army or watch the Warning, or at least know who the Warning are? Can you add a gate onto that guitar and then talk to me about that?
Sure.
That right hand. There is a gate on here.
Oh,
That's the compressor.
yep.
That's also the compressor.
No, this is the gate.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right. Ooh, tighten that up a little bit. I would saturate and overdrive a little bit more and bring in a few effects to make the track thick and dirty and boomy. If I had the original stems, we could do a lot more than we could do, but yeah, I agree with that. Brian, what's up? So in Hell You Call It Dream, I was talking about Danny like playing really heavy with her right hand, and someone mentioned that it was gated and that's what makes it play that hard. It's not her right hand, and I argue that maybe, but I still think you need that right hand to be there. Otherwise, you can't just like fake that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because here's a gate now.
So I'm just gonna put it in a place where it would make more sense to.
Here.
So this will add more snap.
But it still doesn't give that bounce, like as if you were trying to break those strings, right?
No. It'll give snap, like you can hear here.
You can like hear the pick more almost.
That's exactly kind of what it does. Gives this like snappy poppiness.
Yeah. But I still think like in those riffs, she's like standing there performing them in the studio. Ba, ba, da. You know what I mean?
Yep, I would agree with you.
She downpicks everything too. Drag it to that side so they can see it. This is Kevin playing all the instruments, by the way. Thanks, Savard. I appreciate that. Let's get some smack to it. It's cool sounding.
Fucking with you clown bitches. Pretend to be your friends, but when you down, you see the frown switches. Type.
It's a cool guitar part, right? But there's a couple that don't have it. The guitars were with picks, and the bass was probably with a pick. You play bass with a pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything with a pick. See, that'd be one of those spots that would sound like it was breaking if you hit it hard.
Oops. Oops.
Whoops.
Oops.
Gotta skip down south to lay low. Know what I'm saying? Just laying back in the shade, bro. With a couple amazing women who never say no. Yo, I'm coming in the game like some brains, motherfuckers. That's my name. No, it's OD. And I don't give a fuck what you say. All you lame brains never in the same lane. Nah, bitch, I'm floating. So put your fucking speakers on blast. Fill the tank full of gas. Grab the keys and we'll get these wheels rolling. We just gonna do what we wanna. So don't cause no drama. And I'ma get this money like they owe me.
Pretty tough.
Yeah.
Hit Windows save on that.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah, this is something we're working on for our buddy Odie. And we got a couple other ones too, actually.
Yep.
I'm not a rapper though. I don't want to show you all that one. I'm not a rapper.
Someday you'll be a rapper.
No.
When you grow up.
When I grow up, one day, nah. But yeah, we can do some mixes. We can do some production stuff. It might be fun, like talking about maybe not like the direct example where it's like, yo, like let's try to recreate this sound, but it could be like, yo, like this type of saturation, I want to try to get like a good mix out of, or like, you know, this week I learned about this, so let's try to apply it to a mix or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that might be fun. What else going on? Junie, I rolled out a little bit of that low end on that guy too, like you were mentioning.
I do like what he's talking about though, in terms of making a copy of it and trying some stuff.
Yeah,
because there is some wild stuff you can try to make things cool, but it's nice to have like a free session.
I did that with that Ramen and OJ too, because like I have the one with your vocal and then the one with my vocal. And yeah,
we should probably try that thing. Was another one that he told me about, which I did guess beforehand, which I was happy about. But to take, like, if you got a guitar on the left, take a secondary one and chuck your reverb of that guitar.
You've talked about doing that stuff before.
Yeah.
That
would be a good one to do that on too.
Yeah,
because like
Earth,
you
Wind,
got
and
that
Fire reactions.
Oh, I would love it.
Oh yeah,
I would love it.
Oh yeah,
we should do some Larry Graham and the Graham Central Station.
Yeah, we should go on a whole cruise.
Yeah, we should go on a cruise.
Yeah, I got you.
You're bringing it back around.
If we're gonna win 10 grand.
Oh man, you think you can only win 10 grand on cruises?
I can't win no matter what.
I know, me neither.
No matter where I go.
Betty has to teach me her ways of winning.
Yeah, it's all about the machine. That's what my dad says too.
Well, yeah, the machine has to pay you.
They have the money, I guess, right?
It's all in there.
How long do you guys have on here? I don't know.
I don't know. We're hanging.
Yeah, we're just hanging. You're the one on the timeline. I might go on Twitch in a little bit and hang out.
Just in a timeline of tired. It's a long day. Although you probably worked harder than I did.
I doubt it. Is that mute or solo? Okay. I don't know why it doesn't load.
God, we gotta get you Pro Tools.
Hey man, this is pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's cool. Whoa.
This is also Kevin.
There's something.
Go.
It's very good.
Feel up to bringing down a song live. Breaking down a song live. Collaboration stuff. Perhaps.
Why did we do this part? It's so funny.
Who can spit over this?
Hopefully, Ellie.
Oh, that's funny.
We're so funny.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh, I like how funny it is. That guitar tone is still so hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I like that SGs have like a telly vibe.
They're so bitey. I love my SG.
Oh man, you have one of the best SGs.
Come on. We should
Yes.
put that out.
We're so funny.
We're pretty funny. This is Cubase, y'all. This is Cubase. Sounds like old COC for a minute there. You like the drum and Beth? That was our friend Zach did that one?
Yeah.
Yep. The Lost has cracked TWA.
Really?
I like the mixes.
Yeah.
I would probably, like, if I had an argument, it would be around the song, like, structuring rather than the mixes. But the thing is, though, is do you think as a technician we appreciate those things differently?
Yes.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I just
Did you read Junie's comments?
yeah, that's what I was reading. That's why I was laughing.
Junie, I did read your stuff, but I was so like, oh man, I should show you my basement. Underneath my shower is collapsing. It is
Oh,
terrifying. It is so scary down there. So I was listening, but I had nothing to give. So I'll actually listen tonight, Junie. But I did actually listen, but I was so distracted. It's scary down there.
I don't doubt it.
One of the studs is like a C.
Oh, okay.
When I shower, like I was like, I don't know if I'm like, it's too hot in here or something. It's like feels like it's wobbling a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely wobbling a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Ugh. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about something.
I don't remember. It's 3:30 in Germany. Oh, the Lost, the Warning, mixing, producing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
But you heard the new one. I showed you.
Yeah.
How you call it a dream.
I listen to things differently because, like, I'm not listening to the song, which I think is probably wrong.
People say that to me all the time, though.
Because I was listening to her vocal tone, I was listen to her vocal performance, and then I was listening to the guitar playing performance. But I wasn't listening to it as like a song to jam out with. You know what I mean? I was kind of being critical. And as being critical, I was like, oh, I like these pieces of this, but I wasn't listening to it as a whole song. And that's why I think, like, sometimes when I like things, it doesn't necessarily mean it was a good song. You know what I mean? Because it's like I have pieces of it that I like that are for me to like.
See, I struggle with a little bit of that because, like, actually, I gave a little bit of critique in my videos this week.
Oh,
I gave a little bit of a, like, kind of thing. But most of the time, man, I can kind of find something I like in it. Like, even if it's a song I don't like, sometimes I'm like, man, y'all hearing this vocal?
Yeah.
Like, the way they track this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then it kind of takes me away from, like, the song isn't for me. It's like I'm excited about it again. But that might be something that we can kind of pursue, like, with y'all, right? So,
well, like, I remember Mike and I watched this movie, and I loved the movie. And then he sent me this text afterwards, and he was just like, the cinematographer is this guy, and he did this and this and this, and this is why the frame was nice. And I was like, were we watching the same movie?
yeah.
Like, I don't care about this. Like, yes, the cinematography was great, but that's not why I thought the movie was good.
Yeah.
And then I think it's just from that. It's like he has a different perspective of those things than I do, so he's going to look at it in a different way. And I think it's kind of the same thing with this stuff, where it's like I don't look at it just like as it is. I look at it in the pieces that assembled the puzzle, and I think, oh man, that was cool, and that was so hard to do. And I, like, we were talking about the performance of the guitar. It's like, that's not how most people listen to these things.
Yeah.
You know, so
Listening to the right hand.
yeah, legit. Yeah, nothing gets to the top of the pops for having a hard right hand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's how things are measured.
I got the biggest
How
compliment.
many Grammys did you get? I don't know. My right hand's pretty hard though.
Oh
so.
man, I could break a humbucker with my right hand.
Just sawing wood over here.
I got the sweetest compliment in an email the other day. These people are trying to figure out why Angelina Jordan was credited on another song, and they couldn't figure out if Angelina Jordan's voice was in it or not. And I'm trying to use the software that we all saw here. Hey, Andy, what's up? Kylie's here too. What's up? See me drinking that soda? Yeah, I'm trying to nurse it. The fuck was I just talking about?
Soda?
No, Angelina Jordan in the song. So,
yep.
But why was I talking about that? Oh, so in the email, it was a previous email chain, and it was like, yo, you should send this to Jess and ask him. He can like pick out which microphone and compressor they're singing into, let alone like, someone else's voice is on here. And I was like,
All right.
take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I know what an LA2A sounds like. So now that's the other thing I think about the DeLoss thing, like what we just did with the SSL console. Do you think maybe you just got like a different console?
Well, I mean, yes, but
You
he
know what
might
I
not.
mean, though?
He might
Like-
not be using a console at all.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Like it all could be digital. He could be doing this from his laptop while he's on a flight.
That's
Who
fair.
knows?
That's
Right?
fair.
Like that's the world that we live in. We have all these different tools, and but the taste is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like because his stuff definitely sounds completely different than the Bendeth stuff.
Uncle
and like
Bendeth.
they have very different approaches to these songs, and but yet like it's still the Warning, so it has like a commonality to it, but just the way that you and I would listen to it, it's like completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You know what we should do? We should plan it. You and I should come prepared, but we should do like an intensive listening kind of thing.
sure.
Like we could go through, like I could sweep through an EQ and we could go through different frequencies, then
Mhm.
and just do like this is like where we're coming from when
Mhm.
we're listening for things.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That might be interesting.
Well, and like why we like what we're comparing it to,
Yeah.
like
Sometimes the production really matters, but sometimes it's just the feels, energy, and emotion that emotion that. I think I'm misreading that. I think my eyes are getting squirrely.
I think I get what she's trying to say. Like sometimes the production really matters, but sometimes
It's just all about feel.
yeah.
But that goes back to that whole like do a whole record with a Beta 57.
Mm. Yep.
Do the whole thing and like with and then I watched that story actually. It came across my thing.
Mm.
He bought the guitar secondhand or used, and it was like a $30 Sears guitar from the 90s.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't gonna do the music. He was going out there to try to find himself. And then he ended up doing music, but he
Mhm.
had the 57 with him in case the inspiration
Mhm.
came. But yeah. Then he was like, "Oh man, I need a guitar," and he just like went in like the yellow pages or whatever they call it. Found like the tuning section. It was like an old Sears guitar he
Mhm.
recorded that on.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's concept versus creation, I guess, right?
Well, and like I don't know, he had to create something.
Yeah. that's
Something
it.
had to happen.
Something had to happen.
And like I think that's great. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it always matters, because you're kind of bringing out the thing that needs to happen.
Mm.
But I don't know. I think the whole thing is really fascinating because like art on demand is like a hard thing for people to wrap their heads around and to get it so that it ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not. You don't just get to flick on a switch and have it all work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, there's so many things. There's one of the ones that I always come back to is this story of when John Mayer was talking about Daughters. That song of his.
Mm-hmm.
This is his biggest song ever, and he wanted to cut it. He hated it.
Oh right.
Hated it.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be trash, and it's the biggest song he's ever had. And it was one of those like he realized that his perspective on the situation, how he felt emotionally about the thing, was not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He was too close to it, and to see what it had for other people.
Interesting.
And that's kind of what I'm meaning is like this idea of like when you're close to something, or when you, depending on what your perspective is, you don't really understand what it's going to mean for people that don't share your perspective. So sometimes you do have to create it and not be sure how it's going to be received. You could really, really love it and people could not resonate with it. And it could be something you don't really like, but you put it out anyway and people just love it and it hits them in the heart the way that it needs to.
Like cherry pie.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah. It's fascinating because like you're dealing in an area that like when you're trying to reach other people, you have to be open to the other people engaging with it in the way that they're going to. And you have to accept whatever that looks like. And like everything that you do is going to take a risk to either put that in jeopardy or push that forward. And you have no control. All you can do is create.
Yeah. It's interesting though. It's an interesting like predicament.
Well, yeah, because like you have to do the thing.
You have to do the thing
in order to know whether or not it's going to be.
whether or not it works, right?
Well, because realistically, does it matter if it works or not? You had to do the thing anyway.
You had to do the thing. I still got to put the video up. I don't even know if YouTube's going to let me upload it. I still got to film the video.
Yeah. You got to do the thing.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
then you have to accept whatever is from that, right?
If there's no real emotion connection to the production, could be great, but you don't come away having resonate with the track. Yeah, I got you. It can be missed, or the production isn't everything. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But like there are like cell phone videos, man, that I go back to and watch, and it's just like
Is it captured a moment?
yeah, and like I like to think that I have like a certain grace for cell phone footage, just because like when you hear a speaker and you know how it's supposed to respond,
yeah.
or like
Yeah.
like what that probably would sound like. I guess I don't know.
You can translate it, kind of thing.
I try to like people try to like call me on my shit when it comes to shows, but like I don't think people understand how many concerts I've been to and performances I've been to.
It's silly.
It's like Tuesday through Saturday for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
And doubled on Saturdays. Like I've been to too many, man. Like
your 10,000 hours has been ticked a few times.
But like that's where like it gets to that point, just the same as you. It's like the right hand stuff matters now because it's like if the right hand is there, man, like it's obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know.
Well, it's like, and you could put this in any field. I was talking to this dude who's a truck driver, and he said he's got more than 5 million miles on his truck. 5 million miles doing trucking. He's been doing it for more than 20 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And like the way this dude talked about like he was talking about like just things with like fuel economy. And he was expressing like whatever money you put into tires saves you money over he just had all this wealth of knowledge and experience in this area. And it's just one of those like I will now buy better tires.
Yeah.
Because this dude like
all the time.
Well, he just made an excellent case to me in our casual conversation of like, oh, this guy that knows way more than me told me something that I can see has value.
Yeah.
And it has value to him, a guy that has done this over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's where like, that's the cool thing about being able to have conversations with people that have different skill sets like that, right? And like yourself and like myself, like we have a different perspective. So people can choose to invalidate us if they want to. That's completely fine. It doesn't really change what we've done.
Yeah.
It's just they're wanting to view what we've done as not significant enough to listen to, which like, okay, whatever.
That's fine. M. Jones, I liked Hell You Call a Dream. It's good, but I felt like it was overproduced. I would hate to see Warning get to where they need tracks instead of using them. Seems like
overproduced?
Yeah.
What does that mean in this?
I would probably describe it as like distorted or saturated, I think is what people are referring to as overproduced. But like I could be simplifying that because I did get a lot of comments about people talking about like the dynamic range of the master. And being like, yeah, like there's not that much.
Oh, that track is flat for sure. Yeah.
And I like coming from someone or like a record like Bendez that has dynamics to it or perceived dynamics to it, it just felt a little bit more like. So like there is like a lot of people are like actively listening, but I think like the initial thought is the distortion and the saturation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Sorry, for me, like the term "overproduced" means something.
It means something very different. Kevin, I like,
yeah. So I just
that
get
breakdown of that. What's that Prevail band? Gasoline. Like that's on the verge of overproduced. For me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything on 10 all the time.
Well, and like
Hail Destroyer. Remember that one?
Yeah.
For like a punk rock song in the early 2000s, it was like almost there.
I like that tune.
I like that,
was a good
too.
Tune. But yeah, just when I think overproduced, I think like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Oh, like too many people working on it.
Yeah,
too many sounds.
You know that thing like when you see like, oh, and there was 30 producers on this track. That when I think overproduced, I think like not a streamlined unified idea.
Yeah.
Because like there's too many voices in the room. And I don't necessarily think there were too many voices in the room in that one. I think there was two very loud ones.
Yeah.
I think there was the band and there was DeLoss. I don't really think there was a lot of like extra
outside
hands in the pot. You know what I mean?
Fair. Well, when you look at the credits, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's where I find it interesting because like I don't know if one producer can overproduce.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You could over-engineer something.
And maybe that's where my brain gets a little bit more specific because it could be over-engineered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's not a lot of room for it to breathe.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like...
Because I'm imagining... I remember watching a show where they had it'd be like if Fail was performing and Steven Tyler came out and did a song. But Steven Tyler brought his own sound guy just for the song. And then... But you have that times 4 or 5 people on stage. Now everyone's like, hey, man, I got to work on that beat. Hey, I got to work on that beat. Hey, I got to work on these keys. And you've stripped out so much to make room for all these different people with so many different approaches rather than just like one cohesive thought, right?
Mhm.
So seeing situations like that where it gets weird too. But what's up, 15th Band? What's up? I gotta show you some 15th Band. He just found out he could sing
Oh, wicked.
by recording himself singing, and he went, "Oh shit!" He said, "I can kind of do this." And then
Awesome.
he was like, normally he'll sing like low and kind of that,
Yeah.
but he just like let it out, and he's like, "This is kind of cool."
Nice.
Tracked out a whole song, and he's gonna release it for us. So
Oh, that's
I gotta
awesome.
react to it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
To me, it means something they can't play live without help. Yes, over engineered.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it because it is like put together like a puzzle.
Yep.
Like it's tight.
Well, and there's like piano parts in there, and there has been before. I'm pretty sure they can all play piano. Powell for sure, the drummer can play piano. So like they may have played all the instruments still, but it's like the recreation part is where the tolerance comes in, right?
Well, I mean, man, like I feel kind of like I used to do a lot of that stuff. Like I would put
Kevin
in,
was in a 3-piece with a singer, so it'd be like The Warning, but just with a singer, right?
Yeah.
So
And, like,
Kevin
I-
had to fill the space of 2 guitar players because there was only one.
And I did a lot of stuff on records that we would never do live. For me, the rule of thumb was always like, I'll do it if by taking it
Don't
away.
tell me what we would and wouldn't do live. Are you kidding me? Be like, Kevin, how can we make your guitars bigger?
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a 3rd amp here. Okay, let's plug it in.
Well, that was always because I wanted to make it right. But like for me, it was like, okay, we can put these things into the record so long as if they're not there, the song isn't a different song. You know what I mean? Like I'll add another like jingly guitar or another like vocal or like a group vocal or whatever in the background, but it all has to be stuff that if it were removed, we could do without. And I used to do that with my guitar playing too. It's like I could have a delay on only if I could do it without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if it needed to be there in order for it to work, then well, that's not fair.
No, but you know what was cool was I remember you and I having a conversation about dotted quarter notes and you saying, "Hey, can you do that?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And you said, "Great, because I can play that one line now because it didn't work without the delay."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now this is back to I wasn't the producer, I was the engineer
Mhm.
for the live, right?
Yeah.
So this is you telling me what you need and me creating it for you, right? But that's communication between engineer and performer.
Yeah, and I remember like I went from a pedal board to like a pedal board with a bunch of stuff too. I remember by
Oh, man,
the
you
end
had
of
like
it,
2 or 3 rows of shit. didn't
yeah,
you?
I was terrible for that stuff.
and that
And then
matchless amp.
by the end of it, I had my Soldano with a tuner.
Yeah.
And I was
And a
like, I
PRS.
loved it. I
Maple neck.
loved it.
Yeah.
And because I decided to just do away with all the stuff if I couldn't do it just with my hands.
Mm. I got you. But yeah, like we didn't want to start mixing in. We had a metronome, but we didn't have any other tracks.
Mm.
The only tracks that we were gonna do in Fail was maybe some more group vocals.
Yeah.
We were just gonna have some like stuff like that, but that was all we
Yeah.
were gonna add.
Well, because like my little voice shouting didn't make any. It's
Well, that's
not
what
not
we
really a group.
That's why we added me in too.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It was just like we just need bodies. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the 3 guitar thing is really hard, man. And we never did time delay stuff either.
No.
No.
Well, no, because like again, it's like if it fails or whatever, like
No.
just don't do it. But like at the same time, that was a totally different time, right?
Oh yeah.
Like we were doing that stuff before I even got into a Kemper, and so we
Dude,
had.
I've been doing live multi-track recordings longer than digital consoles have been a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like weird to think about.
Do you think you've been doing it more than half your life? You probably have.
Yeah, I started when I was 13 and I'm 32 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm over half my life, yeah.
Yeah.
But like y'all gotta like I used to leave school early on a Friday to go load into the bar and set up.
You were the oldest 13-year-old.
And then on Tuesday I would have to like make up for like whatever test or whatever. So I'd be like sitting
Yeah.
there and at lunchtime like write my test. And on the side of it would be like the stage we had, and I'd be drawing like lighting designs
yeah.
and like, oh man, I was a nerd.
Yeah, yeah.
I was full.
Well, it
tilt.
fires you up, you know.
But like that passion has really, like I said, like I really want to bridge the gap between artistry and technician, right? Like I
Mhm.
really want to make that conversation easy and available.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of musicians get really good at recording or playing, but they get afraid of the technical side of things. And I just want to show them that it's not
Yeah.
that scary to at least get started.
Yep.
At least get it to a point where you can send it to me and I can make a banger for you, right? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
because like I won't. Like, when's the last time I sent you a project? Like, it doesn't happen because I've got this weird expectation of myself. But I want to make that less scary
Yeah, yeah.
because for me, it's the opposite side. It's like I'm the technician who's afraid of being a musician,
Mm.
and that side also isn't that scary. So for me, it's both sides. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both allowing yourself to do something and be seen and create, and those are all scary predicaments from time to time, you know.
I'm learning a warning song, yo. It's a piano line. And then it's got this something like that. But anyway, it's this B minor thing. Don't come to me saying that you cared, that I was the one who was never there. Don't come to me with your lies in the air. Yeah, I got you.
I like it.
You want to play guitar?
No, not particularly.
No.
Nah.
I'm gonna start holding on to a guitar more and just feel more comfortable with it.
Safety blanket. That's always my safety blanket. I was always hiding behind a guitar forever.
I feel like I put a guitar in my hands and I forget what I'm doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, because you want to. Because G.
Just G.
Honestly, that's like any guitar player. You give
I
him
feel
a.
like that's the most important chord. G chord stands for God.
Ooh. Boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Live jams? I don't know if I'm gonna get blocked for that one.
Probably.
Especially when you are creating something by yourself and you have to rely on your experiences and emotions, and that can make you very vulnerable, and that will give you pause when releasing your art. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Well, like I was telling you, like I sing I'll just sing for you right now. If an old friend I know stop by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? So I don't like singing that. I don't like singing that song because I've been that person and have strangers walk back up into my life and make mistakes. And I don't want that to get misconstrued, because when I actually connect to it, I don't want people to think that that's happening in my life today, because that story for me is never a happy ending. So, but for me to want to cover that song, I have to find a way to put it out. And that's an interesting thing to battle with, right?
Yeah. Well, and like, again, you can't control how people perceive them, right?
They went through Ben Death boot camp. I think that would have been better of Offset producing the new album. Powell could do it. I would go to a Ben Death boot camp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
we should get a Ben Death interview.
yeah. I mean, like, technically, if he's going by the principles that he explained, like performance being key, kind of paramount, and like the idea of getting somebody to feel something at the end of it, like that was probably one of the comments that was just like huge to me. You know what I mean? Like this idea of like,
Feel the thing.
well, like if it doesn't, if you listen to the thing and you don't feel anything after you've listened to it, well, then something's wrong. And that just made me like, I don't know if it's just like the repressed emotion side of being a man, but like he's right. You know what I mean? Like it's
feel the
just,
thing.
and the music is there to connect in some way, shape, or form, right? And if you don't feel anything when you're done listening to it, like, then it didn't do the thing. You didn't connect, right? Yep. And if the intention is to connect and to resonate and to, you know, gain synergy to people listening to it, to their soul, then you should feel it too. And like
Absolutely.
that was a huge comment for me, in my opinion. Like it gave me a lot of different perspective.
No, it's a good perspective though. It's like a very human perspective, right?
Well, because I guess, you know, humans are listening to it, so we should probably be humans about it.
Paramore almost disappeared when they switched from Ben Death. Had to go back to him. Paramore with Ben Death was different though, in the best way. Like when Danny sings "When I'm Alone," I worry that she might still feel that way. Yeah, that's like that feeling like it's lonely on top type thing too, right? Because like, you know, like that's empathize with the warning for a second. Like, what if they just love what they got going on and they see like this like polarity between like how it's being received? Like sometimes it's gotta be tough. In rock and roll, it's kind of like here it is, but like if it's an emotional song or something like tied to,
well, and like I don't, it's hard to be like, you don't like, none of us get to have everything perfect in our lives, right? Like we all get all aspects of things, some more than others in certain areas. And like, because you care about someone, you can't protect them from the feeling.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you feel alone in any perspective, like you're going to feel alone in and out of that feeling. You're not always going to feel alone, but there's going to be times where you are, and the times that you do. And you need to be able to, if you're wanting to express that so others can resonate and understand and feel with you, well, then you have to experience the feeling first. Like you don't get away with trying to fake that. Like you don't get to be, I don't know. I don't think so anyways.
Yep.
I don't think you can truly resonate with someone unless you're speaking from a place of knowledge in that area.
I got you.
So like you don't really get to be free from the pain, unfortunately, if you're going to talk about the thing that hurts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because
But like, do you think there's something to? So like we were talking about Steely Dan, and when they came back to do their tour, he was like, I don't want to play Deacon Blues anymore. He's like, I don't know what that song means anymore. And they thought it was like a literal, like you read the words and you forgot what it meant. And he's like, no, I don't feel those things anymore. And he was like, what, can you remind him? And he was like, no, man, like he feels what he wants to feel. Like, like we're not doing the song. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. Against All Odds. He didn't sing that for like 17 years or something, 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah. He refused to. First time he did was like, he was explaining it, I think. He was talking about the piano line and he sang it. And it was like, is that my cats or an outside cat?
Well, it was a cat.
I mean, they're all my cats. When Ren sings, I confuse myself trying to consider whether his emotions are still totally current and in the moment, or what degree the emotions. Yeah. On pre-save, it says illicit on track 11. That's funny. That's wild. Yeah, I think Ren probably, there's like a balance, man. Like I have less like say depressive thoughts than like I used to, so like I don't connect to a lot of that conversation as much as I used to, but I can still fall, like there's things that make me fall into it. You know what I mean? There's a Joyner song. He says because every time I got a new hustle, this shit just gets me in trouble. You don't know how many fucking tears I've shed. And like when I hear him like barking that, it makes me want to like drop to my knees, even though I don't feel those things anymore. But I can, like, that was such a real feeling. It's just like anything. You try to put your heart and soul into something, and you got to tell other people no, and other people don't understand. It's like you don't understand what I've been through trying to do the thing, right? And it's like I don't really experience that anymore because I'm separated from it, but it still hurts.
Well, like your memory is all of you, right? Yeah. Like you don't get to be free from like just you don't get to think about something. You actually do have to feel it while you remember it. Yeah. And this is why we're so interesting as humans. Like it's just such an interesting thing that we do. Yeah. Where we experience things that aren't happening to us as if they are happening to us in that moment. And that's fascinating to me. Yeah. But like, we relive our pain.
Well, music's the only time that you feel your feels, I feel my feels, and we can do it at the exact same time. I think that's really beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm going to wrap it up on that though, y'all.
Yeah, my voice is done.
Let me know what y'all think about doing like maybe like a monthly live stream or bi-weekly live stream maybe. We could do some mixes. We could do some shop talk. We just hang out and chat like this. I'm going to be probably on Twitch in a little bit, y'all. The Twitch link is just BELDVLMNT. And come hang out. We'll probably do some music and stuff there. Y'all don't have to pay for that. No, like we'll just hang out and listen to music. But I will be doing some reactions this weekend. I'm gonna be filming, and I have some filmed already, but I got a lot of live streams coming this weekend because I'm codependent. Gonna be by myself. All by myself. Okay, y'all. Appreciate everyone hanging with us tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed our shenanigans. And what's that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Okay. Until the next one, y'all. See you again soon.